Hello, everyone, and welcome to our SalesFuel and BIA Advisory Services 2021 Digital Event Series for May. Our topic today is lawyers and accountants. Welcome to all of you. I am Audrey Strong. I'm the Vice President of Communications at SalesFuel. Next slide, please, Adam. And I'm your host today. I'd like to introduce you to your panel today. It is Tim Londergan, the Senior Research Analyst at SalesFuel, and Omar Wardak, the Research Director for BIA Advisory Services. And we've got SalesFuel's Client Success Manager, Adam Ambro, running our slides. Thank you so much for your help today, Adam. Looking at today's discussion, there will be the 2021 ad forecast, the market trends and second half projections for the year, digital audience analysis and strategies, and we'll also tell you a little bit more. I'm just going to give you a little teaser here. Coming in June, our next topic in the series is going to be on real estate. Some quick housekeeping to be mindful of today. If you are having technical issues, BIA has somebody at the ready to help you. Please email webinars@bia.com for help if you need it. For questions, please type your questions in as you have them. Questions not answered today, we will answer post-webinar to you. Also, for attending, you'll all receive the local digital resource full of data and insights into the verticals for the series. And I want to remind you to watch your inboxes tomorrow. That is when we'll be sending everyone the links to the recording, the slide deck, and the handout. As a reminder, we have a short survey at the closeout of this webinar. We'd like your feedback on how we did, so please fill that out and do us a favor. We sure appreciate it. And so now, without further ado, I'd like to turn things over to BIA's Omar Wardak. Omar, take it away.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Next slide, please. Starting off, let's look at some definitions. BIA defines local as all media revenue generated by selling access to local audiences to all types of advertisers. BIA defines the legal vertical as offices of legal practitioners known as lawyers or attorneys primarily engaged in the practice of law. And BIA defines the accounting vertical as establishments of accountants that are certified to audit the accounting records of public and private organizations and to attest to the compliance with generally accepted accounting practices. Next slide, please. Before we jump into our two sub-verticals, we want to take a step back and look at a few recent trends that jump out at us. One thing that really stands out is during the pandemic, there was a huge shift to digital. There was no choice but to do that for many businesses. And this is something that will continue further. Just as an example, one thing that became a concern for many families was having wills in place in case the pandemic caused any deaths in the family. Law firms adapted very quickly to the market conditions. 87% of firms surveyed were operating remotely and providing virtual legal services in some capacity within 1 week of lockdowns. Some businesses and customers are just finding it more efficient to work virtually for safety reasons and logistical reasons. So this shift to digital might be here to stay even after the pandemic is over. Next slide, please. All right. The first subvertical we will look at is lawyers/legal services. Next slide, please. In 2021, the lawyers/legal services vertical is forecast to have $4.2 billion in ad spend. The top 5 media getting the most ad dollars are direct mail, over-the-air TV, mobile, online, and newspapers. By 2025, the end of our forecast, direct mail will lose some share, but TV, mobile, and online will continue to be the top 5 media. The legal services subvertical will enjoy reduced volatility while consumers continue to remain focused on financial planning. We expect to see continued growth, particularly in the second half of 2021. When it comes to growth, the top 3 media growth categories in the legal services subvertical from 2020 to 2021 include TV OTT, which is expected to grow about 25%, radio online, which is expected to grow about 20%, and magazines online, which is also expected to grow about 20%. In terms of dollars, actual dollars, the biggest gainers in 2021 include mobile, which is expected to get $106 million, direct mail, which is expected to increase by about $43 million, and over-the-air TV, which is expected to grow about $41 million. In 2021, legal services is heavy on traditional channels, including direct mail, TV, and newspapers. And in the next few years, those traditional channels will continue to be heavily used, although digital is gaining share. Legal services will need a multi-channel approach that relies more on digital in the future. Next slide, please. The legal services subvertical is one of the slower verticals to rebalance its media investments towards a majority in digital platforms, but this change is coming. Traditional media will still receive more than half of spend in 2025, but digital will inch closer towards having an equal share. In terms of digital media, mobile will rise to take the top spot in 2025, growing from about 17% to 23%. Direct mail will lose its first place status, dropping from about 22% share in 2021 to about an 18% share of total spend in 2025. Mobile continues to attract large ad dollars, garnering $711 million in 2021, while spend in direct mail continues to decline. For mobile, key topics sellers can educate their buyers on include the variety of ad inventory types, data-driven options, how to best incorporate location intelligence in building and activating audience segments, and how to design campaign creatives that can be integrated and effective in cross-platform activations. Lawyers and their firms need to be educated now more than ever on the importance of a mobile-first online presence. Optimizing a website for mobile indexing is absolutely critical for strong online presence, particularly in the wake of the recent iOS 14.5 update from Apple products. Law firms whose websites are not fully optimized for mobile applications will find their rank lower in search, appear less often, and receive fewer leads from online marketing efforts. While the legal industry is one where activation of first-party data insights likely isn't an option, maximizing second or third-party data sources to narrowly target potential consumers with advertising campaigns is another simple measure that law firms can take to reach the right people with their advertising, eliminating wasted spend and improving online relevancy for organic search results. Help buyers develop metrics, develop KPIs, and plan cross-platform campaigns. Law firms are still heavily reliant on direct mail and traditional advertising channels and may need additional education on opportunities to expand their reach or improve their targeting with digital alternatives to traditional direct mail, including targeted email marketing, targeted direct mail retargeting, and other digital response-driven ad techniques that will keep the firm seeming relevant in the eyes of the local consumer base. Mobile, online, and TV OTT account for over 146 million in incremental spending growth from 2020 to 2021. Strategies targeting legal services must prioritize this buying behavior into their 2021 sales campaigns. However, it's important for media sellers to pay attention to where the breaks in these channels are for the legal industry. Inside the mobile space, what tactics are most impactful? How do you connect the dots between the marketing and responses? Sellers should understand all the different possibilities inside the broader categories of mobile, online, TV, and OTT. Legal firms considering spending on OTT should ask probing questions about the types of devices the ads are being served on. Connected TV is now mainstream television as much as broadcast or TV was that before the advent of streaming. Be mindful that not all providers label products the same way, and while some may claim to sell OTT, they're actually placing the video in pre-roll, mid-roll, or teaser spots on smaller mobile devices, which doesn't offer the same experience for consumers as an ad on a larger screen. Separately, online spending on desktops will increase from 8% to about 10% of total spending. Radio over the air remains strong at 3.6% share of wallet in 2025, while dropping a couple percentage points from 2021 levels. At the same time, TV over the air's share of wallet will remain stable, staying in between 17 to about 18% from 2021 through 2025. Next slide, please. Of the $4.2 billion in total spending, $1.7 billion is digital. The bar on the right does not show all digital share, but highlights mobile and online having the largest share. If you look, there's a lot of growth for law firms and apps as firms seek to educate about their legal services and content where consumers are seeking advice. Gen Z and millennials are hooked on mobile devices. Mobile should be sold as a part of the digital offering of any seller. All digital advertising, including social and video, needs to be mobile friendly. As you can see in the bar, TV, online, and OTT together have an 8.6% share. Currently, OTT/CTV is experiencing high relative growth. The legal services vertical already shows great interest in this new video platform. With the tremendous shift of spending into mobile, it makes sense that TV OTT would also follow. While still low spending in absolute 2021 dollars at just under 71 million, OTT is on a path to double in just a few years. Legal services use OTT because they understand the targeting and access to premium video, and data-driven audience segmentation measures can be used to optimize campaign, creative, and spending allocations. Media sellers offering OTT inventory can be strong marketing partners by explaining how OTT works, how to best plan, buy, and optimize OTT advertising both on its own and as a part of an overall media mix. Next slide, please. Looking at legal services, digital spend by product, classified verticals gets the largest share, followed by display and search. Within digital, search and other display are the anchor categories in digital spending and will continue to attract more spending through 2025. The biggest media share shifts over the next 5 years for legal services are the shifts in mobile, which will increase about 5 percentage points, and direct mail, which will decline about 4.5 percentage points. This is the time to discuss with your clients if they too are moving away from direct mail and into mobile. Explore with them their goals and how they plan to activate and assess these media investments, and how a shift into more mobile and less direct mail investments may help them achieve their goals. 2/3 of digital spending goes to display and classified listings, ad inventory. Only 1/5 goes to search. Work with clients to develop strategies, metrics, and KPIs, such as buying video display on impressions and classified listings and search. The costs of paid search for the legal category have grown significantly over the past several years, outpacing many local firms who then turn to Google for advertising. To overcome this, legal advertisers should be advised to incorporate new media tactics into their existing advertising campaigns, leveraging video where possible to extend their brand messaging and to encourage awareness across a variety of device types. Additionally, legal advertisers would be well advised to consider leveraging the power of ID graphing technology to be able to buy and capitalize on customized audiences for their video and marketing efforts. Tailored audiences tied to specific devices and campaign strategies allows for micro-targeting, which can lead to stronger overall return and an increase in new business. Handing it off to you, Tim. Next slide, please.
Well, thank you, Omar. I appreciate that very much. And hello, everyone. Thank you for taking time out of your day to be here with us. I will strive to make it meaningful, and we certainly appreciate your support of advocacy of BIA, SalesFuel, and AdMall. As we are all aware, things are opening up. We've got our shots, we've got our stimulus checks, we're going back to work, back to school. We can choose to go to restaurants, movies, and in concerts again. I'll take you through a few slides here. They're prepared to illustrate how several types of law firms and accountants are handling the reopening. We're going to look at trends associated with the new normal and how we can use AdMall to help your efforts in selling to this vertical. Some things we've adopted over the past 18 months have worked out very well and will remain. As Omar said, you know, the video conferencing software, that's going to be with us for quite a while. Attorneys and are using those for virtual depositions, and then also the social media. It's made believers of a lot of attorneys. A third of them think they've obtained clients because of that. Then we look at trends. Unfortunately, distracted drivers are going to still continue to be subjects for personal injury in the coming few years. And then increased driving. Heck, we're all out there. Other travel, it's going to put us out there a little bit, and you can expect to lead to more accidents. Personal injury attorneys can be very active in this. Ride sharing laws and autonomous vehicles, these are also going to be pushing into personal injury cases. And then because this sector is growing, you can count on the competition to increase as well. Next slide, please, Adam. This data, what you're seeing here, comes from our audience scan study. It's now in the 11th year, very robust database with over 15,000 online adult respondents. If you're not familiar with audience scan, I urge you to check it out. 56% of legal service clients, this is a 5.1% slice of the pie. They have responded to an ad on social media networks in the past 12 months. Now, from the previous slide, we know social media works. Attorneys know this. And with the help of audience scan, you can show them how to use it. Next slide, Adam. We at AdMall try to help with discovery process. We'll prompt you with questions to get you to know your client's business. What percent of the cases come from auto accidents, medical malpractice, whatever their specialty may be, but it opens up the opportunity to talk to them about their business. Where are they getting the business? What would they like to have more of? Also suggestions for strategies to become, for instance, the online PI expert. These are some things they can do in their content marketing to put them in that position. And then reminding them to update their websites. This is kind of disturbing. 35% of small firms haven't touched a website in over 3 years. Well, I get it. But there again, you know, what are their priorities? Professionals are busy. Everybody is. That's why they need you. And then mobile. Omar mentioned several times about how the money is shifting to mobile, away from many other options that they have. And of course, the SEO friendly aspect of it is very important. Reputation is all important in this business, as we all know, and especially so among their peers and other professionals. Help them use keywords in their advertising, including their geographic location. That's very helpful for them. So next slide, please. This slide leads us into bankruptcy attorneys. The point here is to show the recent increase of filings. About midway, right there, that high point in the middle, that's March of last year. And look at that precipitous drop off to April. Well, that's coming back. Like it or not, bankruptcy filings are coming back. The personal bankruptcy may, and these are personal bankruptcies also. These are individuals. Notice it's non-commercial filings that you see there at 40,000 in April of 2021. Personal bankruptcy may rival Britney Spears as the comeback story of 2021. Next slide, please. Here's what we just saw, lowest in 35 years. That was the spike, or that was the depression there we saw of 2020 in that graph. So it's coming back. And where are they coming back? Well, our AdMall information tells us that these states listed there are peaks in bankruptcies. If you work in these states, you may want to look at this report more closely. Also, commercial real estate. Renters, landlords, there's a lot to sort out from the remnants of 2020, believe me. And then now there's competition from corporate B2B firms, and this is about what? Bankruptcies. So they're into the game, and we see this opportunity, and they are hiring to meet the demand of that opportunity. So just be aware, if you're working with a bankruptcy attorney, everybody's looking for that. They want to take a piece of that increase that's coming. Thanks, Adam. Please, next slide. Generally, there's three goals for attorneys. One is to expand the service to current customers. Two, to get new clients. And three, to retain existing clients. Well, this statement here is from our Voice of the Buyer report. This is 1,330 respondents. They were asked the question, and these are there. This information is there to help you do a better job of helping your client. But this is an alert. This is a warning. Attorneys need to listen to their clients because 42.3% of decision makers have already discussed their problem with their current supplier, and they're continuing to reach out for new solutions. Your client will walk if you don't listen to them. You need to provide solutions. So listen up. This is a call to action for your attorney clients. Next slide, Adam. Again, discovery question. Typically, this, what your business comes from commercial clients, typically it's 75%. AdMall tells you this. So this engages that attorney, help them talk about their business. It opens them up. And then, of course, bankruptcy triggered by COVID losses, opportunities. These are all opportunities for new business for your attorney. And then the third point, bankruptcy is scary and it's complicated and there's a lot going on. So only with 10 to 20% of lawyers using video, it's time to grab your videographer and make that call. And then helping with Google Ads, social medias, those kind of things. We pointed that out before, that this is very important. You've got to help them with keywords. And remember, the business service clients are not shy about seeking new solutions. So this is why it's so important. Next slide, Adam. This is B2B law firms, business to business. These attorneys are engaged in tax law, product liability, mergers and acquisitions, and they compete primarily with in-house counsel. Therefore, pricing is important. That first point, they're looking at alternative fee arrangements. And then second point, this is familiar. Tax work's down, litigation is down, but guess what's up? Corporate bankruptcy. So help them understand this and pursue that business if it's out there. The third point, B2B firms are conservative by nature. Lawyers are, for the most part. In fact, this vertical is pretty much conservative by nature. So it doesn't come first nature to them to talk about marketing and business developments. In fact, 61% of law firms rate their business development sophistication as average or below average. They need your help. It's a big bugaboo for these firms. So please, if you're calling on these accounts, help them navigate this world. It's not something that's first nature to them. Not everybody's wired the way that all the same way. So we need help in certain things. Next slide, please. This is from the Local Accountant Intelligence Report. For those lawyers seeking the most important criteria, clients seeking attorneys look for timeliness, responsiveness, you see it there, reputation, the type of cases they handle. If you dig down in that report, you'll also see that seamless experience is important. All matters that are handled by one firm. And then data privacy, cybersecurity were also ranked high. Next slide. A discovery question. Love these. This is a great way to get the client to talk. How can you assure future clients that their sensitive electronic data is being protected? Let's engage that conversation with our attorney client. And then fewer than a third that we're seeing here have any marketing budget at all. AdMall shows 2.6% to be allocated to marketing. That's a place to start. You know, you apply those figures, 2.6%, and you apply it to this rule of thumb, $7 toward client acquisition, $1 on retention. That's the balance, that's the ratio. You apply these figures and you can devise a marketing plan for your potential advertiser, your prospect, or your current client, but help them move the ball forward. And then something else to be reckoned with is ratings and reviews. We get back to reputation. Gen Z, millennial decision makers, they're more likely to look at this than older generations. Look at your conservative base of clients, of attorneys and accountants, and they, again, this is why they need your help. And if we employ what we've learned from the last year, diversifying their content marketing strategy, virtual seminars, videos, podcasts, testimonials, these things help to put that law firm out there. And when you're doing the SEO with them, be sure to secure their name, put that up there so that they are the top name to come up in that search for those people who are looking for other business services. I appreciate your attention to this. I'm going to go back to Audrey right now. Thank you.
Okay, Tim, thank you very much. So we've got time for a couple quick questions before we move on to the accounting subvertical. Omar, somebody had a question about one of your slides. Slide number 7, it said 16.5% growth in CAGR. The question was, what does CAGR stand for?
That stands for compounded annual growth. And so every single year, it's not going to grow the exact same amount, but across the years, the average annual growth comes out to that amount.
Perfect.
So it's just an average.
Excellent. Yeah, I was wondering myself. So thank you for that question. Tim, question for you. Since fewer people are driving to and from work, does that mean that lawyers should shift budget from radio and billboards over to digital now going forward?
I think that's a great question. However, things are opening up. We are going back. We're out. I don't know if you've been in traffic lately, but I wish some people would stay home. So they're out there. They're involved in the traditional media that we've always had. There are new opportunities. If anything else, it's more exciting with the opening and the opportunities to do things on social media. But you've got people going to concerts, restaurants. Drive time is what drive time is. I see it, for traditional radio and television is up in many cases. So I wouldn't give up any traditional opportunities in my media house. I would just build on that, use that as a foundation and go on with other new sources of media.
Makes sense. And Omar, one more question for you. Can you define TV versus OTT, please?
Sure. With regards to TV, in terms of TV online specifically, that consists of content on web pages, access through personal computers and mobile devices. This includes content that's like articles, videos, and banner ads, not necessarily something viewable through TVs. But on the other hand, OTT content is delivered via an internet connection to a television, and it's streamed content. And the streamed content, I guess, is like an alternative effectively to the traditional cable and broadcast providers.
Perfect.
That's it.
So let's move on to our next vertical. And Omar, you're going to take over. This is perfect. We're at the bottom of the hour. We have 2 verticals and we want to get everybody out of here on time. So take it away, Omar.
Alrighty. So the next subvertical is accountants. Next slide, please. In 2021, accounting, tax prep, bookkeeping, and payroll services are forecast to have $1.17 billion in local ad spend. The top 5 media getting the most ad dollars are direct mail, mobile, online, over-the-air TV, and newspapers. By 2025, the end of our forecast, direct mail will lose some share, falling to second place right behind mobile. TV's share of wallet will remain flat and will continue to be in the top 5 media. Newspaper will also lose some share and drop out of the top 5 media, being replaced by out-of-home. The accounting subvertical will continue to enjoy growth across most media channels in 2021, except for a few such as cable, directories, and print magazines. When it comes to growth, the top 3 media growth categories in the accounting subvertical from 2020 to 2021 include TV, OTT, growing at about 20%, magazines online growing at about 16%, radio online also growing at about 16%. In terms of actual dollars spent, the biggest gainers in 2021 include mobile, which will gain about $28 million, online, which will gain about $5 million, and direct mail, which will gain about $4.5 million. Next slide, please. The accounting subvertical will slowly rebalance its media investments towards a majority in digital platforms. As shown, in 2023, they are nearing an even split, and by 2025, the end of our forecast period, they will spend more on digital than traditional. In terms of digital media, in 2023, spend on mobile will increase and challenge direct mail for the top spot. By 2025, local ad spend on mobile will far surpass direct mail, growing from about 20% in 2021 to 26% in 2025. Direct mail will drop from about 26% in 2021 to about 21% of total spend by 2025. Other fast-growing online media include online ad products sold by traditional media players such as magazines, television, and radio. Next slide, please. Looking at digital media, the majority of 2021 ad buying will be in mobile and will continue to grow over the next 4 years. Again, the chart shows the largest share going to mobile and online, with TV online and OTT making headway. TV OTT also is showing immense growth, averaging 20.5% annually over the next 5 years. Well, once again, that's a compounded annual growth rate. Accounting, tax preparation, bookkeeping, and payroll services, advertisers will continue to make a steady shift of their ad dollars towards digital, with OTT, mobile, and search as leading growth areas. You should focus on helping them make that shift. Next slide, please. In different surveys, 74% of millennial respondents indicate they felt some level of stress around filing their tax returns. Millennials are more likely to use online and mobile. There's opportunity to further engage and encourage loyalty by offering mobile apps that offer tax advice and other related information and tools. Businesses are looking to those resources for guidance to continue operating and to grow post-pandemic. The typical accounting firm may get as much as 25% of its revenues from work done for individuals, and the balance of revenue comes from businesses or government agencies. Show the advertiser how your ads can effectively target these customers. Use audience and marketing data to help them target the different audiences with personalized messages. Over to you, Tim. Next slide, please.
Thanks, Omar. Thanks, Adam. This category always makes me think of my old friend John Weaver. He was an entrepreneurial type, and years ago, and I'm talking years ago, before social media, he created kind of a placement agency, if you will, of accountants and CPAs, because he knew he could help them. That was his primary purpose. Plus, he took a little commission when he placed them with businesses and even individuals to be their accountants. He just knew how these folks were wired, and he knew that he could do the marketing and he could do the things that they were not necessarily at top of mind with them. So this is just like you taking this category of business, you as a salesperson, you as putting them in media, you as helping them to do the best job that they can, and let them handle the details of accounting and CPA stuff, but you handle their marketing. And like I said, he gave them business clients, even individuals. Well, right now, accountants typically are 75% for business clients, 25% from individuals. And some of the trends they're seeing, tax implications of the stimulus. Oh my gosh, this is going to get deep real quick. But they have to be quick studies and versed in the tax policy changes. Data security and identity theft, those are hot topics for any of our businesses that we're calling on right now, but especially for these who want to not only help their businesses, their own business to be secure, but also communicate to their clients that, yes, your information is safe with me. And then competition is going to be nipping at their heels always. IRS expertise you see there. Online software as a service packages, these are out there too. So these folks need your help. These folks are not necessarily top of mind marketing, but you call on them and you engage them in conversation using some of the key questions that we're going to bring up right now. That brings up the next slide. Thank you, Adam. This slide brings to mind the 10.6% of adults who use accountants and tax services. That's it. That's what you get out of this audience scan survey, what the slice of the pie is. Well, of that 10.6% of adults, US adults, 90% are more likely to listen to business talk news. You know, sports news comes up there, or sports also comes up there, sports talk. Also, if you could dig deeper into that audience scan survey, you see that newsletters via email are a great way to communicate with them. I would also suggest that your client need to talk, you need to work on the soft skills and emotional intelligence and those kind of things in their messaging, in their dealing with clients. And I'm just channeling my old friend John to say there that that's where they need help. That's where you can help them. Next slide, please. Here's 2 discovery questions. You can get to know their business. Do you charge by the hour or value price billing? How much of your revenue comes from business versus individuals? Well, we know that information, but we want to put that out there. We want to get these persons to talk. We want to get the accountants to talk about their business. They would love to do that, no doubt about it. And then also help them promote their expertise. The COVID-related tax law changes, this is new to many of their clients, and probably all of their clients. I know it was for me. So those are the things you can do. And then helping them relate. 45% of accounting firms plan to increase their focus on social media. What am I going to say? What should I talk about? Reputation is always a great thing, or this last point. If they are versed in cybersecurity and blockchain and the cryptocurrency issues, man, they have a niche. They can talk about that. So this is why you need them, or why they need you to sort this stuff out. Audrey, I'm going to turn it back to you.
So Tim, the first question we have is for you regarding, that all the Bitcoin in the headlines lately. What is the SalesFuel research showing you in terms of consumers that are dabbling in cryptocurrency and in terms of using that to approach accounting prospects?
Well, that's great. What we found out, or what I've seen, is about 15% of U.S. adults engage in the Bitcoin currency. And those implications, you need to talk to your accountant. Believe me, I don't want to go any farther. I don't want to be responsible for anything beyond that. But if you've got a 15% slice of the American adults out there who have this, you better advise your financial people, if they're your clients and they trust you for information, you better advise them to investigate this and even promote this fact that you can help them through that and navigate those turns.
What's the name of the new one, gentlemen? Dogecoin? Dogecoin? I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah. Omar, question for you. Can you explain more on mobile's growth for us, please?
Sure. So the key driver behind mobile's growth is the changing nature of where audiences like are spending their time. As audiences spend more hours on mobile devices, naturally advertisers are going to have to follow them where those audiences go. On a personal note, I've tracked my daily usage of social media, and it's effectively gone up from an average of an hour per day to upwards of 2 hours during the pandemic. And obviously there's tons of people across the country in a similar situation that are just spending more and more time on their mobile devices, and ad dollars are following them on their devices as well.
Sure. And the other question that came up for you, Omar, came off of one of your slides. What is the definition of a classified vertical, please?
So classified verticals include effectively searchable apps and websites that are focused on a particular niche. So cars.com would be an example of a vertical search engine focused primarily on cars, and then there are real estate related search engines, and just for different verticals, if it's like a specific niche website that has content focused on that particular niche, it could be for real estate and so forth, including for law firms and things of that nature as well.
Excellent. Okay, Adam, let's move forward a slide. We want to tell you guys a little bit about the handout that we're going to provide you, and we provide you every month in our digital series as the thank you for attending today's webinar. We're going to provide this resource for you. It's a vertical analysis, data and insights. It's updated each and every month as we move through the year in the digital series. So please plan on attending each month. And Omar, you've got some information on BIA as well. Next slide.
Thank you, Audrey. If you guys like the vertical spending data we shared today and would like to look at spend data for other verticals, we have a product called BIA Advantage where you can find this information, and our team can give you a demo if you're interested. You can reach out to us using the contact email listed here. For those of you that have a notepad and a pen, that email address is advantage@bia.com. Thank you, and back to you, Audrey.
Thanks, Omar. So moving on, Adam, our series does continue this year. As I mentioned, June is going to be on the vertical of real estate, which is white hot right now in many markets across the country. July, we're going to look at back to school and office clothing. And August, the topic's going to be insurance and mortgages. Join us monthly, basically the fourth Tuesday of every month, get in the habit. But that is what is coming down the train tracks in terms of the series. Moving on, Adam, if you like the research on the SalesFuel AdMall side of the equation, you can get it 24/7 with AdMall. Go to admall.com for more information. We're happy to give you a demo as well. We also have something that can help you improve your salespeople in just 2 minutes a day. It's brand spanking new. It's called Coach Feed. It's AI driven and it's sales micro coaching through Slack or email. We're actually giving a totally non-commitment free trial right now at coachfeed.com. Go ahead and surf over there and check it out and let us know if you'd like one of our folks to get in touch with you. And then if you're starting to hire more salespeople as the country reopens, as Tim mentioned, please consider a demo of our SalesFuel Hire product. You can root out the toxic troublemakers and only hire the sales rainmakers using the solution. So we have got that as well at salesfuel.com/hire. Reminder, please fill out the webinar survey once this webinar ends. We would appreciate your feedback. If you have any questions, reach out to me or Celine Mattison at BIA.com. You can see both of our emails on your screen. Thank you for attending, and I hope you all have an excellent rest of your day. See you next month.